Turn on lights. It's
I didn't turn any light.
It's super dark here. It's getting brighter.
Sure did not.
And
Rookie move.
you're
Rook.
definitely rook moving. It's so
Not
much,
that anybody wants to see your.
it's so much brighter in here.
Hey, look, we have faces now.
Right?
I didn't know we had faces. Oh yeah, I'm really on top of it because the first thing we're going to talk about is Crappie Closet results from his crappie tournament this weekend while everybody gets logged on. And I don't even have him pulled up yet.
So Crappie Closet did, it's the third, but really the second he had to cancel the first one because of weather, right?
Yeah.
The second tournament of the Crappie Closet tournament series, right?
Was the 14th, March 14th, this last Saturday
Out of Clear Lake.
at Clear Lake. And oh, of course it's got a name that I can't pronounce. Oh. Bobby Guillory?
All right.
Guillory? Please don't get mad at me if I murdered that. And the other angler is Daniel, had 5 fish with a big fish of the tournament of 274, and their total weight was 1124. Break your phone? It doesn't play
I
loud.
might have broke it.
Bouncy boy checking in.
Hey, buddy.
Everybody can hear us, right?
And or see us.
And or see us, hopefully. I think it's phone.
Yeah.
So what did Daniel or Danielle, could be either one of them, and Bobby win? They won $1,000 for first place.
That's a good.
And Big Fish paid $275. That's pretty good.
$12.75 for first.
So
First place?
$12.75 for first place with Big Fish. Rachel said, "Yes, your phone was just messed up."
Yeah. Perfect.
There was, it looks to be 11 boats total, and weights were a little down compared to last tournament. But I mean, it was pre-spawn last time. Now I'm sure that they're spawning or pushed up. Second place was Paul and Randy from Randy Graham Fishing Show.
Oh.
And they had 11.12, so they were 0.12 from the top.
I saw something talked about that the fishing was definitely way tougher than it was the first time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But the people that were willing to drive, go across the lake, did better.
Yeah.
So something to think about.
To go for a drive.
Yeah.
And then third place was Jerry and Alan. There's no way I'm going to attempt one of them. One's Castillo, Dizon. And then Paul and Randy. Paul's last name is Pabrua. Pabrua?
There you go. You're doing a great job.
But congrats to all three teams.
Right.
And awesome for Bobby and Daniel or Danielle. We obviously weren't there, so we don't know exactly how to pronounce their name.
Right.
I was working or on call, so I couldn't work. And you were fishing Berryessa.
Maybe. Possibly. Checking things out.
Getting boat tags and stuff.
Yes.
To get ready. We are going to need we're going to need boat tags after McClure tournament in 2 weeks.
Yes.
So we have Top 75 coming up in 2 weeks at Lake McClure, and we will be there.
Not even really 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like a week and a half now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time next week, I will be loading the boat.
Yes.
So, we'll be up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday at McClure, and obviously Saturday is the McClure tournament. And then Sunday we will be at the club meeting or the club tournament at Berryessa. That's why he needed the tag.
Yep. So we could actually get on the water.
Yeah, we can actually get on the water. Marlon says what's up also.
What's going on, Marlon?
So yeah, that's the recap of that. The next crappie quality tournament with $1,000 payout is on April 18th. Sorry, it took me a second to find it on the screen. April 18th, 5 fish crappie tournament. First place prize $100,000. $100,000.
Can you pay that out, Marlon? $100,000 first place.
Yeah. I'm not sponsoring them for the extra 999,000.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
that's about right.
So yeah, reach out to Crappie Closet Lures to find out that information if you're available April 18th, which I'm on call that.
He might have made a comment of I'm gonna say he said no.
He said not no, but hockey sticks no.
Yeah.
For 100,000.
Yeah, no doubt.
I am exactly on call that weekend.
Way to go.
So his tournaments are 5 weeks apart. I can tell you that. But April 18th, Clear Lake. All right. So now the people have to get going. Today's topic is spring fishing. I just lost my word. Specifically, spawn time fishing, which, if you guys don't know, we are at spawn time fishing right now. With the hot weather and all that, there's already been a wave going through. I'm sure there'll be another wave going after that. We're in that beautiful time where you can catch them all 3 phases.
Yes.
And if you fish the Delta, you're
probably on the back end of it.
There are sections of Delta right now that I'm sure they're not even fry guarding anymore. They're probably already released their fry. And then there are sections that have not even made beds yet.
Yeah.
So they're still free spawn.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go.
Depending on how far you want to run.
Yeah. Depending on how far you want to run, what water temperatures are and all that.
So I'll talk about Barry because I was there. So with the warming weather, right, the water temp was still like 53 in the morning, but the weather was up in the 70s, almost 80s. So that water was warming really fast. We were getting water at the end of the day.
No wind, high sun.
No wind, high sun. At the end of the day, we're getting water at 65. 65 is past some of these fish, right?
There is no actual like bed fish temperature.
No.
Scientists have proved that. But the average ballpark is like 58-ish for spots and smallies, and then like 62 or something like that for largemouth.
Right.
That's the ballpark what everybody says. Scientists say it actually has to do with the amount of sun on the water, like the length of day, and not necessarily temperature.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. So, grain of salt, nobody actually knows.
Well,
but the fish know.
The fish know. And when you're out there and you're looking at these water temperatures and you're looking in the water and you see them on beds in some spots, depending on where the water temperature is, some they're not really locked in. You could definitely tell this is the time frame right now.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I noticed, and we have a tournament there in a week and a half, but really this goes to everyone. In the beginning,
kind of all
lakes,
mid-level lakes right now.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
I'm sure Pedro, Folsom, Berryessa, like we said, sections of the Delta,
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake. I'm sure they're all in that zone right
Yeah.
now or very close to it.
So what I was noticing that at Barry this last weekend was anything that was south facing had bedfish on it. If you got off of the south facing, they were not set up there until you got to a point that was more closely to a south face. So maybe because
And south facing would be if you are standing on the shore and your toes are towards the water,
Correct.
you would be facing the south.
right. So that gets the sun more in the day. Right. So maybe that's warming up first. I expect after this week, which we've been in the 90s,
Yeah. High
That-
80s, low 90s.
that south be done and already gone, because that's going to be super hot.
Yeah.
To them.
Or they'll just push.
Deeper in the water. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people, I guess we'll touch on
Yeah.
this for a second. There's a lot of people that are against fishing for bedfish, period, in general.
Yeah.
I will say with having electronics the last couple of years to be able to look at what's going on, if you fish during this time in the water 15 foot or less,
You're catching bedfish.
you're catching bedfish. Whether you know it or not, you are catching bedfish.
Yeah.
Especially if you catch a giant. It could be a roamer, don't get me wrong. They're not all that way, but out of your day, you are at least catching a handful of them, if
Yeah.
not a good share of them.
Right.
Now with electronics, you can actually prove like, oh, hey, that fish keeps going back to that same spot. Oh, look, there's a little rock right there too.
Right.
And you're like, oh, well, but that's in like 15 foot of water. The deepest bedfish I've caught was 23 feet deep on Berryessa.
They're there.
So luckily the water was clear enough and I could see down, and I was like, wait a minute. And it was a bedfish, a male that when you picked it up was peeing. If you catch a fish that's peeing,
Yeah.
it's a high possibility that's a male that was on a bed at that time.
Or setting up to be on a bed.
Yeah.
So things to think about. I know that I've heard rumor of some lakes being in the 70s already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, in the low 70s by now.
Yeah.
At certain times of the day. Obviously, as far as bed fishing wise, if you are going to target bed fishing, you're looking for just flats with rock on it or back of pockets.
any kind of structure.
Literally to the point of, let's say I had a shallow flat and I took this phone and threw it in the water and it floated down to the bottom and made a little hard spot. They will use that.
Yeah.
Like that's how tiny of stuff they will use if they find it as a bed.
Yeah.
And it could just be one solo rock that's a little bit bigger than the rest of them. It could be one little stick that sticks up. And then as far as bed wise, what I look for is I learn the lake, what areas of the lake. Is there a dark? So like if there's a bed in certain areas, it's a dark spot or a light spot, depending on what lake you're at.
Or what area in the lake you're at.
Or what area of the lake you're in. And I've literally club level, obviously, won a tournament just by casting to the dark spots in front of me with a drop shot. And all I was doing was casting it out, letting it hit the bottom, dead stick it, and then it would just start swimming off. And I was just going down the bank. No clue what I was casting at, had no clue how big they were. Ended up with like a 5, a 4, and some like 2.
Yeah.
But it was club tournament. Ended up winning it. And the guy I was fishing with, Dean Meyer, like in the beginning, he was in the front and I was in the back, and I was like, well, let's go there because I think they're going to be on beds right now. And he's like, it's too early. And I'm like, nah, I think it's right. And after the first 2 fish, he's like, take the front. It's his boat. He's like, take the front. Do what you got to do. I'll just sit back here. He's like, just going at it. And I'm like, the 5, I looked up and I was like, there's a log up there. And I was like, or there's 2 logs up there. And I was like, one of those logs just moved. So I threw the drop shot up in there and it swam over and picked it up. But that's how simple it can be this time of the year. And
Yes.
that kind of goes back to
Throwing Senkos.
Yeah, this is if you're catching them shallow, you possibly are catching them on beds because that baits wise, before we get into like the technicals of
Yeah.
it, I prefer drop shot the most.
Okay. Why is that?
The reason why I prefer drop shot the most is because I can change my weight length.
Put it closer to the bottom.
If I'm focusing on a fish that's on a bed and I'm staring at them, I will shorten that weight up. But if I'm blind casting and just going down the bank, I want a longer weight and I want that dead stick fall. And that's really how I catch most of them, is I just cast it out, let it dead stick fall, and then let it sit on dead stick. For some reason, I think that if you get close to a bed, they'll swim over to it and pick it up with that dead stick. I don't really have any other baits that I throw on bed.
No. Nothing. You don't throw anything.
What else have I thrown?
I don't know what you
You throw more stuff.
I do throw more stuff.
I just throw a drop shot on them. I will throw most of the time it's a robo worm. Sometimes a smaller robo worm. It used to be Starry Steves, but
yeah,
I don't know if I'm gonna burn Starry Steves for dead fish.
No. Not when they will eat pretty much anything.
I will have it in the boat.
Yeah.
In case we do run across the big one and we need them to eat something.
Right.
I might throw that on them. But as far as blind casting them,
my new Sorry Steve works.
Yeah. And then we have the
crappie closet.
The crappie closet
Sorry Steve.
pintail worm.
Yep.
In the Sorry Steve color.
Yeah.
We haven't got to try that one yet, but I'm sure it'll work.
I'm sure it'll work.
Zero doubt about that one.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely work. Are we gonna get technical or?
Yeah, what baits are you throwing? I'll leave that up how technical you want to get. He messes around with stuff a little bit more than I do in this department. I usually just am pretty like, this is how I'm gonna do it.
So I do use the drop shot. I feel though that when you throw the drop shot in, it makes a bigger sound with the weight in when it hits the water, and sometimes that the fish, like if you actually see the fish, not just blind casting, you see them and you're flipping it in, you need to flip past them and bring it to them, not just straight down on top of them. Because if you throw it straight on top of them and they're not really locked, that will spook the fish and blow them out. And they'll come back
unless you want to spook.
Unless you want to spook them. They'll come back, but don't know how long it's going to take for them to come back.
Yeah.
So I will throw a shaky head in there because it's way quieter when it hits the water. And on top of that, I could put that shaky head right on the bed and let them get angry at it, right? I'll use a Ned rig also. And I'll throw like sprayed grass or something bright. Like if I can't really see the fish, it's deeper. I'll throw something that I might be able to see down there, like something brighter like this. To where when I'm looking down at it and I see that disappear, I kind of know that they got it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm an actual. I didn't get into the color on drop shot. I pick natural bait most of the time. I don't think I even have bright bait like a white that I throw. I'll just throw like a natural color.
I'll throw a white bait. I'll throw a few things.
But with the one thing for that is with a drop shot is you can actually like lean on a drop shot and like slowly pull tension in it.
Right.
And you can feel if something picked it up or not.
Right.
So that might be why I just don't really see the color. I never thought about that.
But a Ned rig, is definitely a good player. It's kind of like throwing a jig. I don't even know what a Ned imitates.
I have fished with somebody who threw a jig, and there were multiple fish that I could not get to go, and he threw that jig behind. Shout out to Ryan Moss. He threw that jig behind me, and he got some of the fish to go that I could not get to go.
Yeah, sometimes they get boat shy. Maybe
Yeah.
him throwing out the back was a trigger
I was
with
like
with
on
it.
top of it. One of them. I was like, I'm done with that thing, and then I was like, I like moved forward or something like that, and then the boat swung, and he was like right underneath the boat with the jig and just boom, got it. I was like, oh, okay. So it got to the point where I was like, come up front here. Here, cast at that one. Cast it. Like before we left the bed, I had him cast at it, and he was able to convert the one that I could.
So sometimes they'll like nose up to it, but they won't go. And you keep on trying, and I'll cycle through some baits, different style of baits, put in there. Sometimes you put something in there that will trigger their response. And you could actually, if it's clear enough water, you could see the response. And it's kind of really cool. It's kind of like duck hunting when you're calling them and they actually respond to what you're doing. I'll throw like a dark sleeper in there and throw it in and bring it in there. And you could actually see the fish kind of like what is those fighting fish? The betas.
They're just called fighting fish.
No, the little beta fish.
Beta, yeah.
The beta fish. You actually see the gills flex out, fins out, and they actually get angry because that fish is in their bed. And you could throw something in there, or they might eat that one.
Yeah.
But you could throw something right after that you increase their aggression.
Yeah.
And then they'll go.
So a lot of the premise of all of this, since we're getting into it right now, is body language.
Yes.
If you are not, you have to learn their body language. Like, I don't care where the bed is necessarily. We'll get into parts of the bed part, but like body language is the biggest thing. Like you can tell within a couple minutes if that fish is going to go or not.
Right.
Is that fish going to eat or not eat? You could tell it. And then there's times where like they're on the borderline, but they're big enough that it's worth spending some time on it. But in a tournament situation,
you can't get stuck on them.
You cannot get stuck on it. Like, so there was a pro, I forgot which pro it was, who's really good. I just had it for a second. On the Elite Series, and it was a bed fishing tournament. And he actually like said, he's like, all right, we got to go. I got to move. And the cameraman's like, oh, okay. Like, what? And then like, he's like, sir, can I ask why are you moving? And he said, because it's personal. You can't stay if it's personal. And I just realized it's personal.
Yeah.
I can come back to this fish later, but at this point it's personal. I need to go move on.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. Like
that definitely makes sense.
It happens even on the pro level.
Yeah.
That it gets personal with it.
But watching their reaction and knowing some of the fish's response and body language, like you're saying, like throwing that dark sleeper in there and watching the body language move. One of the things that there's two other baits that I like to have around or ready to throw on, even if I have a drop shot and I just nose hook it and throw it out there. A lizard.
Yeah.
They don't want a lizard in their bed. Right? They don't want a lizard in their bed, and they don't want a bluegill in their bed. That's for Rachel.
That's for Rachel.
But yeah, do that again.
Estimate.
But throwing a lizard in the bed could change their body language, change their aggression, and spike.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is you're trying to elevate the situation.
Yes.
If they aren't already. So part of the blind casting thing is you're not creating a situation.
No.
And they are, but once they know you're around, now you have to elevate them to get up to it.
Yeah.
I've had times where a female, so like the male's in the boat or in the bed, and there's a female that would do like big loops, I do not try and catch the male.
No, you don't want it.
I will, if the male eats it or whatever it is, I will try to shake them off. Not all the time you can shake them off, but I will try to shake them off. But I want to catch that female when it comes around. If you annoy the male enough and it does not do anything about it, the female will come in and take over the situation, and that's how you catch the female.
Yeah.
So you have to create that situation if that's what's going on where that female is looping around. I will say that once the two of them are doing this whole like thing where they're actually doing the mating part of it,
the bad part,
you're not catching those fish.
No.
Just walk away from them. They're already doing their thing. Move on. It is very, very hard to catch them unless you have a treble hook and some weights.
Getsy said that sounds like his house. They're not eating.
Also, I saw somebody said hi earlier. Who was it? Oh, Dom tagged in and Tommy tagged in.
What's going on, Dom?
What's happening, Dom and Tommy?
But yeah, those are baits that I'm gonna be putting on my deck. What's crazy is this time of year too is, and you're never gonna believe what I would like to throw is the A-rig.
That gets into other things you can catch them on beds with.
Yes, but
we could touch into that on the backside because there's actually some cool stuff that we've ran across. One of them was a Clear Lake situation. But we can get into the outside of that stuff on the backside of it. So if you guys want juicy stuff, stick around.
Yeah.
Because there's some cool things that we've ran across. I actually forgot about that until you mentioned the A-rig.
Well, I figured I'd bring it up.
So mood on how do I elevate the mood? Right. So let's talk about how do I elevate the mood? What am I looking for in those things? I want to fish nosing down on the bait, and like tail up, nose down on that thing. I want to fish that will be over here, like off the bed, and I throw my bait in and it immediately turns and either goes over it or goes right up to it. Like something that you can tell you have their attention at that time. One of the things that you can tell is if they're on a bed, you throw on it and it takes off fast. It can be one way or the other.
Right.
It can be they're going to take off fast, but then they do a big circle and then they come in and just pick it off.
Yeah.
Like you spooked it, but it's also frustrated. That's why it's got that aggression to like leave, is it knows it's getting messed with, but it's still annoyed. So you kind of have to hang around. Every fish is different. I don't care how many fish you've caught in that same day, they're all different.
For example, I had a fish on Sunday that I threw in on, and he was picking it up, spitting it out really fast, picking it up, spitting it out. I couldn't get on him. And he was underneath some sticks and stuff. And I put my bait, the shaky head, and it was about this high off the water or off the bottom. And it just took off like a rocket and grabbed it. I wasn't even in the bed.
Yeah.
Wasn't nothing. It just was like, I don't want you anywhere around. I caught it, put it right back.
Yeah. Especially in non-tournament situations.
Yeah.
You just
and
right back.
And if it's weeks ahead of time, you ain't catching those fish. They're not going to be there.
They're going to be on that bed for a couple of days.
Yeah.
If you're a week out, it really doesn't matter. If you're looking at tournament wise, females I think move in and out faster because the males will stay up there for a while to make the bed, waiting for the female. The females will just move in, do their thing, and leave.
Wesley Jones said large swim bait and carp patterns will work to elevate their mood also.
I can imagine.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good tip.
Yeah. And that's because if you ever pay attention to bed, there are always carp or something swimming around in that area.
Trying to eat.
Trying to mess with it. That is one thing. That would be the other thing. If there is a actual carp near a bed situation, most of the time I feel like they do not care about what I throw in. They are more worried about the actual carp.
Yeah.
Or the actual whatever its thing is. They'll go all sidetracked for a while, and you're just like, "Hey, buddy, come back." You can, okay, I see. Okay, he's gone now. Come back. Like waiting for him to come back.
Yeah.
Sometimes that does help elevate the situation on the backside of once they're gone, but a lot of times it kind of throws them off. Like I don't want another fish to come in. I think that knocks them off for a little while.
Yeah.
And if I have a good enough fish and that situation happens, I will actually leave that fish and just come back. Wait for them to settle down. A lot of the times I want them to stay on the bed or be a very close proximity, which that comes to the size of the circles.
Yeah.
So if you throw a bait in on a fish and it does cruise off the bed, if it slow cruises off the bed and makes a big old long circle down to 20 foot, then comes around the other side of the boat, then comes up and goes past this certain bush, and it has an exact trail if you pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So those ones can be really hard to catch if their circle is a 10-minute circle or 5-minute circle.
Yeah, that's not productive.
It is really hard and productive.
Yeah.
But for me, if it's a big enough fish and it has made the exact circle 3 times, it goes around that bush and goes in between this weed and all that. I throw by the bush, the weed. I give it something on its trail that it makes, hoping that it makes that trail again. And then as it's cruising into there, get its attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's a good try. The other option of that is be on the bed when it gets back. So once it makes that circle, if you're on the bed when it gets back, that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. If you can find it.
If you wait long enough or you know exactly where the bed is, because there's definitely times where you're like, the fish is stopping here, here, and here. I don't know which one's its bed.
Right. Yeah. But I like to cycle through baits like that.
Yeah.
Look at them, watch their mood, watch what they're doing, throw something in there. Nope. Put that down, throw something else in there, and maybe fire them up, like what I was saying, throwing that lizard. The lizard is a key that I usually get. That's almost a guarantee eat if I'm doing my other stuff. But typically the lizard is a longer bait. And sometimes these fish will pick up the bait, like the tail end of it, and just move it out of the bed, spit it out, and then go back to the bed. So usually the lizard will do it, but if you have a finicky fish, something that doesn't really want to eat, it will just pick up the tail end of it and spit it out.
They know, like, you can give them, I swear, you can give them this little crappie jig right here, and they'll still pick it up by the tail and carry it off.
Yep.
Like they know, like I just want to move you out of my territory. But a lot of the times, if you get them to the point where they're willing to pick something up and move it out of the territory, it's they're
gonna eat. Yeah.
This one's guaranteed. It's only a matter of time at this point. And that goes back to the bait change, right?
Right.
It's possible you get a bait change. There are times that I have seen with a fish that you can start to get it hyped up and then you bait change and it like resets the slate.
Right.
It like starts them back at 0 again and you have to like re-hype them back up.
Yeah.
So
don't throw that bait back in there.
Whatever that bait was, put that down. Do not pick it up, at least for that fish. And if you have a couple of fish that do that in a day, I will take that bait out of rotation.
Yeah.
And then like for me, I'm cycling drop shots and I'm just clipping on different drop shots.
Yeah.
And it'll do that. One of the reasons why I use drop shot is because it's open hook and you just need to get it inside their mouth.
Yeah.
So with that open hook, the other thing is like, so let's say it's a distant bed and I can't quite see what I'm doing. If I have a drop shot pitched out there and you can kind of feel on it and then you feel it move. So the line's moving. You're like, I know he has it. You can just kind of lean into him. And then if, let's say you don't, let's say that fish is just got a tail grab. It'll just pull it out of its mouth. You don't ruin anything. If you set the hook on it and it didn't have it, sometimes I can mess that up.
Yeah.
Because it's just a sudden movement. It knows like, okay, this isn't right.
Yeah.
But that subtleness, usually, let's say you pull it out of its mouth, the next couple flips, it'll pick the whole thing up.
Yeah.
As long as you're subtle with it.
Yeah. But one of the last times I fished a tournament and it was bed fishing, I was going through, I picked out my fish. I told my partner, we got to just get lucky and blind cast and look for anything, a tree, anything that's sticking out of the water, anything that you could see out in the future or out in front of you. Throw up to that, just blind cast
You
and
see a light spot, dark spot. You think
just
it's a tree,
a rock, a tree, the end of, and like when we're talking trees, like either where a limb is, throw it there at the bottom of the tree, right? Pick a spot on there. They typically don't bed like right in the middle of the tree. It's going to be,
There are some that do.
there
But
are
for the
some
most
do.
part, most
They're gonna
trees are
pick-
not laid out.
yeah, they're going to pick like a corner or the bottom or something like that.
They want somewhere they can protect, but not get ambushed themselves.
Correct.
If it has too many points of entry to a location, they don't like it. They like to have like one of the walls be protected. Now they're not trying to protect 360. They only
Right.
need 180 or 270
Right.
or whatever it is. So that helps locate where the beds might be.
Yeah.
But
you could pick up a big fish, blind casting, doing that,
Yes.
especially in the area that you've already been through, because maybe that boat pressure, that boat being in there, they might push that bigger one off. So do some blind casting too, and just
Okay.
hope for that bigger fish.
it actually, so like I always tell my co-angler, if I am doing bed fishing, that they are at the advantage to catch the biggest of the day.
Yeah.
Because while you're cruising down the bank bed fishing and you're looking for the fish that you want to grocery shop
Yeah.
and hope that you can grocery shop, you'll run across a random giant just cruising in 5 foot deeper of water from whatever they are. And you'll just run across it and you're like, dang it, blew that one out. Like nothing I can do about it. Your co-angler, you can tell them, hey, I just won over one right now. So then they can kind of remember where it's at and make a bomb cast back to it.
Yeah.
And you can generate a bite that way.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I've had multiple co-anglers be able to do that. Just make that bomb cast. And then all of a sudden they're like, I think I got one. And then there's just like 5, 6, whatever comes up jumping.
Right.
And you're like, oh, crap.
Get the net. Get the net.
Let me turn the boat back. It's like a full cast back there.
Right.
But they kind of show themselves as far as that. And your that's basically what you're doing is that deeper area, that area you can't really see, that deeper section.
Those blind casts.
Start making blind casts into that area. Obviously, you're not casting, let's say the beds are in 8 foot of water.
Yeah.
You're not going to blind cast a 30 foot, but you can blind cast a 20,
Yeah.
15, 10, somewhere around there. Just pick that slightly deeper and just throw Carolina rig, drag a drop shot, give them something enticing that they want.
Something also to think about when you guys are going out to do this is get good glasses,
Yes.
wear a hat. Something that I also like to do when I'm doing this is to wear a shirt with a hood on it.
Yes.
So you're blocking all that the sun coming in. You'll be able to see way better.
No bright colors.
Yep.
No dark colors. Wear whatever the some of the pros say, whatever the color of the sky is, wear that color.
Yeah.
They
see better than we do.
They can see better. They can see the shadows. I'm sure they still see us, but it helps.
Yeah.
I've definitely had days that were a pain in the butt, and I was wearing my rain jacket, black rain jacket, and then it got warm enough, took the black rain jacket off, and I had a gray sweatshirt on, and all of a sudden I'm like, boom, 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 and I'm like, oh, okay, it's the time. Like, it got warm enough. They're really good. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, maybe it was because I was wearing a black jacket.
Yeah.
No way to prove that, but
no.
Food for thought.
Yeah. Something to think about for sure.
I usually wear light colors this time of year, light gray, light blues, something, whatever the sky is going to be, basically.
Basically a sun shirt.
Yeah, sun shirt or something like
because
that.
most of them are those type colors.
Yeah,
those pails. Those.
If you got the hood on with your glasses on and your hat on, you can block most of the sun out.
Yeah.
That would be the other thing is pay attention to your sun angle.
Yeah.
Just because an area is really good, if the sun angle is wrong, it's probably not worth fishing.
Right.
If you have to run the fish over to see it, you're kind of giving it up on the get-go.
Yeah, you're not going to win on that one.
So pick a different bank that might be the same setup but a different sun angle.
Yeah.
Let's
get into spots. Spots on spots. No, spots on spots.
Oh, like how to actually work a bed specifically?
Spots on spots.
I'll let you start that one out.
You want me to start that one?
A lot. I'll let you start that out.
So every bed has a exact spot to it. Like this is the spot the fish want to protect 100%. So like if this was the spot and you drag your bait through right here on this side of it and it doesn't flare up, and you throw it in again and you drag it in this side and it's not paying attention and you drag it in.
Keep in mind that the whole bed is this side.
Yeah. And you drag it in and you hit that spot and that fish charges up and nose down on it. That's the spot you want to throw to every time.
Yeah.
So even if they don't eat that one and you change a bait and you throw it into that spot, that's where they're going to eat it. They're not going to just eat anywhere typically.
And like I say, there's a 1 inch square. There's a 1 inch square on that entire bed that fish cares way more about than anywhere else.
There's a comment for you.
What's that? Every bed has a
spot,
a special spot.
Yeah.
You need to find and tickle it the right way.
Correct.
That is absolutely true.
Is exactly what we're talking about right now.
And Marlon says you can use crappie, which you can. And by the way, all of this pertains to crappie also.
Yes.
We've actually proved that, not knowing, but we've proved that this all works on crappie for bed fishing.
Yes.
You literally do the
and
same
typically
thing.
After the spawn is done with the bass, the crappie are going to be moving in.
Yeah.
And doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, and right back to doing it. And if you miss the bass spawn, you can find the crappie spawn and practice on it.
Yes.
And those ones are really fun.
And bluegill.
They get super black sometimes against a dark bed.
Yeah.
And it's hard to watch their reaction. It's kind of almost like not like a teaser, like a challenge.
Yes.
Like a challenge.
Yes.
Where you're like, is it there? Is it not there? Because it swam off, but did it come back? Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Here we go. Sidetracked on crappie again.
But the bed definitely has that special spot in it. If they're hot, if it's a hot fish or a locked fish, that there is a spot where if you find that spot, and you should be able to find it, like you could drag it through and look at it, but sometimes just looking at some of these beds and you see a spot that is super clean, like the gravel is sticking out of it, right? And we didn't really mention that, but when you're going down the bank and you're seeing light spots and dark spots, but you see just a spot that's just clean, it looks like you got too shallow with your trolling motor and fired up on it and it blew it out and it's all nice and clean, no sediment. That's a bed too.
Yeah, if you're going down a bank, sometimes they're really, really hard. What you're saying, like you just see little like algae fuzz on the bottom, and then you see one spot with no algae fuzz that's like anywhere from 6 inches to 18 inches around. Depends on what lake you're at. Could be bigger, could be smaller. But you're just going, you see that one clean spot. You may have already scooped the fish that makes that. You didn't see it. You just remember where it's at and come in from a different angle. Or a different sun angle. And during this time of the year, that could be a fish sitting on a bed.
Another tactic that you can do if you think you spooked one or one did spook, drop your bait into that spot
And long line it.
and just keep trolling motor and away.
Yeah.
And then check it.
I did that before fishing. I don't know where we were fishing. I was fishing with your dad, fishing with Floyd. And it was a tough day for sure. But there was a bedfish that was back in between some logs. And we worked on it a little bit. Floyd, he bed fishes, but he's not fully into it. And before we left, I just pitched my drop shot onto the bed, and we were like a long ways away.
So you're trolling
ways away, and I clicked my bail over, and I was like, "Oh!" And I hit it. It was only like a 4 or something like that, but it's jumping out there, and it's way out there. And it was like I don't think it was. I think it was our biggest fish of the day. I don't think it won big fish of the tournament, but it was a really good one. And it was from that theory, that long line in them kind of thing. That's back to the blind casting. Back them off, give them some breathing room.
Yep.
It's on the area that it doesn't want you to be. It'll pick it up.
Right.
So what I do if I have a fish that I want to catch, that it's like the right size or whatever it is, I will basically pitch my bait and drag it while the fish is in the premises, and drag it in almost like I'm sectioning it out.
Like a grid search.
Like a grid. And then you'll like get to a spot and you'll notice it like turned when you got close to it. And you're like, okay, I remember that spot. Keep going. I'll go back to that spot. If it turns again, then I'm like, okay. And then then that's part of the fish swims off and it's kind of out here. If you drop it on that spot while it's off, you will know, because it will turn around and swim back to it and nose up to it or eat it. So depending on the aggression of the fish, obviously.
Yeah.
Every fish is different. Gotta throw that caveat in there. But learning that spot on a spot is 100% like the key to most of those fish.
Yes.
And what a lot of people don't talk about bed fishing wise.
Yeah. All right.
So now that we've got the basic ballpark of it, I don't know if you guys have questions, you're more than welcome.
Words are
on words again.
Words are tough today, huh?
Words
are tough.
It's a big word for Elmo.
So if you guys have any questions or anything, tips you want to share with us, go ahead and comment in there.
Yeah. And then we'll get into the wild one.
Yeah. So
A-rig.
I will 100% throw an A-rig. Surprising, right? Especially bedtime frames. One, you're covering a lot of water. They don't want it in their area, or they're looking for a snack.
And you have depth control.
Yep. With that also, like we said in the beginning of this, you're going to have post, pre, and spawners,
Yeah.
all at the same time, right? At some point in time, because they don't all do it at the same time. So you could pick up those fish that have just backed off,
Yeah, you
of
can
the
pick up
beds.
cruisers,
the cruisers.
you can pick up the ones that are setting up, and you can pick up the ones that are on bed.
So you could put that limit together really fast. So that's a tip. I would use bluegill flash typically in that.
Just because it's darker.
Well, because of bluegill. They don't like bluegills during bedtime. You know, I'm gonna probably have a couple other colors on there, but I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have a bluegill on there.
I'm pretty sure you're allergic to having all three colors on the same, or all five baits
Yeah.
be the same color.
Yeah, why?
I don't think I have all of them unless they're really hitting one specific
He's-
color. I rarely
He's been
have
doing
all
really
three.
well because there's been multiple times we've done A rigs where his are 100% perfect, same color, and couldn't go. So he's
Yeah,
been
back in the
working
day.
on his.
Back in
Um,
the day,
hmm.
I'd split it two colors, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't put three colors on it.
Yeah, I've put 5 colors on before.
Another wild one that we stumbled on
Yes.
is a jerkbait.
Yep.
If you can get a deeper diving jerkbait to actually like ruffle the dirt in the bed, like do like a +1 megabass +1 jerkbait, and you can get that nose to actually hit the bed,
Yep.
you can turn a fish that wouldn't have hit anything else on fire.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. There's definitely usually like some sort of structure around, some sort of rock or wood or something like that. So you kind of have to be choosy on your angles, or you have to go get them and blow the bed out if you get
Yeah.
hung up
Correct.
with a $25 bait.
Yeah.
But that is another one. But the key to that is hit the bed with the jerk bait.
Yeah.
And if you can match, like if you already know where the spot is, that fish isn't reacting to it, right? If you can hit that spot with the bill of the jerk bait, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah.
Between
Another
that sharp reaction and all that.
sneaky bait for bed fishing.
Very
Sneaky.
sure.
Say you're at Clear Lake. Right now it's in 90 degrees. What starts moving around at 90 degrees? More active. When it gets hot, what's more active? Frogs. So
Frogs work on regular water.
correct.
Something floating over the top. I don't really understand that one, but
Well, it's something in their area. They don't want it in their area. So say at Clear Lake, you got beds, you're throwing, and it's super shallow, but you can't really see them, but you know that there's fish up there. You could throw a frog up there and they'll eat that frog coming over the top of their bed.
if it's like 3 or 4 foot of water and you put a frog over the top of a bed, they will come eat it, and you can catch some females from that. Whenever you hear somebody talk about catching a fish on a frog this time of the year,
Yeah.
to me, that tells me they're on bed
Yes.
in that area, wherever it was.
But it's definitely a sneaky realm to get into. Tommy said, did you see Jimmy Easterling's video on forward-facing sonar perspective scout for bed fishing? Also, Scott Martin uses forward-facing for bed fishing. He said he's going to try it this year. Definitely do it. That definitely works. You could definitely see them.
I have caught fish on perspective mode, both crappie and bass last year. I haven't even been on the water during bed fishing this year.
Yeah.
But I have
till this weekend.
If you have perspective and forward facing, so you're covering both angles on beds, it is awesome.
Yeah.
You can definitely
pick up extra stuff.
Yeah.
And then on
those deeper beds become available to you, which is what Scott Martin was doing, is he was picking out deeper beds.
On top of with the scout or perspective mode going, you don't have to move the trolling motor as much because you need to be quiet. You shouldn't wear cowboy boots out there bed fishing.
No.
Right? You don't want doors slamming. You don't want people running around on your deck.
Yeah, nothing to shock or awe any of that.
Yeah.
What I do wish is I had power poles. That's the only
I got
bad
one.
thing. You got one.
I got one.
We can do circles.
Circles.
But that was if you have power poles plus perspective.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, and you're going to be in shallow enough water. Depends on where you set up.
Yeah.
But you no longer have to worry about sunlight angle. You don't have to worry about wind anymore. That opens up the whole world electronics wise.
Yep.
As far as doing that.
Yeah.
Do we have any other sneaky baits though, right?
And glide baits, but we kind of talked about it, like a swim bait or in a crappie.
Yeah, glide baits. Glide baits can be really good if you want to find which ones are bigger. Like they will eat a glide bait.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times they will pull off a bed and follow the glide bait and they can show themselves.
Yes.
So you can go down the bank blind casting a glide bait and find out what's where and what area they live in. And let's say you're pre-fishing for a tournament. You can come back to that area, find the bed tournament day, and actually work on them if you're like a day ahead.
Yeah.
Or even that day alone, you can come back to it, or just because you're going to pull them off the bed with it. They're going to follow it all the way to the boat or halfway to the boat. You got to kind of wait for them to reset.
Yeah.
But that is another way you can do it. For some reason, glide baits just has that pull power.
Yeah. That's about it for me.
I think that's pretty much it for bed fishing.
Yeah.
It's food time.
It is food time. I'm getting hungry.
You're always hungry.
This is true.
Um,
I cannot deny that.
But yeah, so next week, I'm not sure if it's Tuesday or Wednesday yet. Right now, I'm working extra hours at work from time to time. It's hit or miss days.
Oh my.
He's working extra hours for work. It's hit or miss days. Different professions, different amount of hours also. Mine's only like an hour or hour and a half extra. Yours is like a lot more extra.
It's like 8 hours extra.
Yeah, like a lot more.
Yeah. Like,
Tommy wants to know about the urchin question. So he messaged me.
Okay.
And I was actually going to get into it with Corey because Corey has some of those urchin things. And
next
I'm
week?
gonna do that next week, and that's gonna be part of Choose It or Lose It.
All right. I'm in for that.
With Tommy's recommendation. Tommy had some good Choose It or Lose It, and I'm blanking on somebody else had good Choose It or Lose It.
You wrote them down?
I wrote them down. They're in the comments of previous Choose It or Lose It.
Perfect.
So really good ones that we hadn't thought of, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that one."
Yeah, definitely like Choose It or Lose It. Favorite. That's my favorite live.
We are going to get into it next week. It'll either be Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know the exact thing. And yeah, that is one of the things, a little highlight or a teaser of that is talking about, as Ish Monroe called it, dog toy baits, because they look like dog toys.
True. I saw some at the tackle shop today. I couldn't pull the trigger yet though.
We'll get into it next week.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's going to take us down a rabbit hole.
Yes. I'm hungry.
I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching. And I greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
Tune in next week. If you have any suggestions for Choose It or Lose It, or
feature
topics,
videos,
any topics you guys want to talk about,
or re-talk about, if there's something that we've gone over before and you guys want a recap, say like A-Rig.
Yeah,
I'll talk about A-Rig.
A-Rig, one of the first ones that we came out with. We might put some of the older ones on there. Something that we've changed opinions on or changed ideas on. We'll have to look through our stuff and make sure there's any retakes on it.
We've been doing this for a while, so I'm sure there's some.
Like a couple.
Yeah.
Lives at a couple years.
Yes.
But yeah, if you have any questions, ask them down below. And you can always hit me up on Instagram. Shoot me any sort of that stuff. choose or lose suggestions, show suggestions, any of that stuff. And tune in next week, Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yeah.
6:30. Hopefully we can get Corey in to talk about the urchins
Yep.
and maybe somebody else also.
Yeah.
So until next time, I hope you get them.